Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Daryl McFadyen with Network's Sage 100 team. I wanted to thank everyone for taking the time out of their day to attend our Sage 100 and ShipLinx webinar. Our presenters today are Todd Elliott with RateLinx and myself. Todd, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes, good afternoon. I'm the Vice President of Sales here at RateLinx, and I sure look forward to helping you all get a chance to look at our TMS solution today. And thank you, Daryl, for giving us this great opportunity to provide insights to your customer base.
Great, thanks, Todd. And everyone, really quickly, my name is Daryl McFadyen, and I am with Network. Been here for going on 10 years, and I manage our account management team on the Sage 100 team. So this is one of my favorite slides of any of the webinars we do because I love talking to our customers about Network's ecosystem. As you can see, we provide a broad portfolio of solutions and services, including modern industry-leading ERP solutions and a host of other core business solutions. If any of these solutions resonate with you, please feel free to reach out to me or your Network account manager for more information. Thanks again, and Todd, I'll hand it over to you.
Excellent, thank you, Daryl. And again, thanks to everyone who put a little bit of time on your calendar to be here today, this afternoon with us. So welcome, and I'm here to introduce RateLinx and give you a quick understanding of who we are, where we are, and how we've gotten here. So we were founded in 2002. Our headquarters are here in Scottsdale, Arizona. And so with our Scottsdale headquarters, we have all of our customer-facing teams resident there. So from sales, implementation, software engineering, account management, customer success management, all of the folks that you would be interacting with RateLinx are in the Scottsdale, Arizona office. So our collaboration and being able to take care of customers is benefited as a result of us being together. And so I think it's a great differentiator. We do not outsource any of our support or any of our software engineering services. We're recognized as award-winning thought leaders. We're named to 2 market guides and 1 Magic Quadrant for TMS. And our associates are not only technology folks. So Gartner has indicated that we are unique because we are, yes, technology, but we're also transportation experts. So all of our folks understand logistics, supply chain. So we're able to work with you to understand what your objectives are with your operations. How do you ship? How do you move that freight? And then how do we marry our solution to do that most efficiently, effectively, and get you the best pricing for that freight? It's real important. You can see that we are members of the FedEx compatible platinum level with FedEx and the UPS Ready program. So we are globally certified and able to ship in any location, country around the globe. Here are a list of some of our customers, and you see very large enterprise level customers here. And you also can see folks that maybe you don't know that have lower volumes. So we are scalable. We allow our customers to purchase that part of the system that fits with their needs and grow as your operations grow. We can match that with the backbone of a sophisticated TMS that is hosted in the Microsoft Azure platform as a service. So we are able to grow with you and your needs as you come up to speed in your operations. How do we price? I think it's important as we go into showing you the product today that I provide you with a little bit of focus on how we get that done. So we price based upon modules, and that's the width of the product. So we look at how many do you need. So are you only a small parcel shop, or do you need to have LTL, truckload, ocean, intermodal, etc.? We have all modes on one platform, so you get to choose. And then inside of those modules, we just ask you what your volumes are. And then we create a static subscription fee that you pay each month that evens out those peak season highs or lows, etc., outside of peak season. So it gives you a budgetable ability to set your price points. In terms of that depth, like I said, we don't reconcile by the number of transactions. It's a place for us to start, and then as you grow, that dollar amount remains the same. So it's real easy to get into our product and budget accordingly. Daryl, did you have any more to add?
Actually, we did get a question. Let's take it right now. How long does it take to add a carrier to ShipLinx TMS?
That's a great question. If we don't already have the carrier in the TMS, it's about 2 to 4 weeks to get it added. And incidentally, there are no additional charges to do so. So we just go ahead and set that up and communicate with the carrier to make sure that we've got their technology matched through either an API or EDI transaction connection. So it's very simple to do.
Okay, excellent. One last question for now, just from Calvin. Is there going to be a demo as part of this webinar?
Calvin, there is going to be a demo, yes. As soon as we get done with this deck, and we only have a couple more slides here, we'll get into the product. All right. Daryl, did you have anything to add here?
Nope.
Okay.
You're good.
Excellent.
Yep.
All right. So this is the ShipLinx desktop application, which will reside on your workstations in the warehouse or distribution center, wherever you're processing shipments. This will be out on that machine. And so what we're going to do with real-time integration is we're going to pull in your sales order information from Sage 100 so that we automate the shipping process for you. So as an example, I'll do a parcel shipment here. So I pulled the sales order number in, and populates automatically the ship via and the ship to address. And again, this is your shipment information that's coming in from the ERP. And then we've got a packing screen that opens up. So if you require packing, this screen will populate the item numbers and all of the details for each of the items that you're packing. If you do not pack, and don't need the TMS to do that, we don't have this screen that will pop up. So this is more configurable based upon your operations. So here, if I go ahead and add a couple of these items to a box, and then I close box, you'll notice that the close box dialog box opens up, and this can be configured to have your box IDs in the system, or if it is a dimensioner and a scale that we're using, it will automatically populate accordingly. You'll notice the weight automatically fills in, but we can also augment that and change it to meet the weight. And again, that can be integrated with your scale as well, so we have exact weights. So then when that box is closed, we still have 3 items here to pack that came in from that sales order. And then maybe customer service says, hey, I want to add to that order. So we have the ability to do that. And again, we will bring in that additional order information. And I'm just hitting add here. And remember that all of these strokes that I'm doing can be integrated. So you're seeing me do keystrokes and manuals so that you understand how the process works. But it doesn't have to be like that. It can automatically come in. So you'll notice that now I populated additional line items that need to be packed. So I can go ahead and just add all of these into the second box, and then close box. And now I've got a larger box because there are more items. So I'm going to use that 20 box ID. That's the second one here. And you'll notice that the dimensions are automatically bigger, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use 25 pounds, and then I'll hit OK. Now I've got 2 boxes already packed, ready to go, and now I'm gonna hit done, and then I'll come back to the ShipLinx screen, and you'll notice that it populates with the total charges, and all of the information is fed in here from the rate shop in the process that we go through. So then we go ahead and hit ship, and now what we're doing is we're communicating that shipment information to the carrier, and we're giving them tender instructions, etc. The other thing that's happening is that the pack list is now printed. You'll notice that it says RateLinx on here. This is a crystal report, and it can be customized. So we would put your logo up here, and we can also change the formatting to meet with your requirements and your operations. But on this, you can notice that you've got the order number, the shipping method, and then the tracking number is automatically included on the packing list. And then here are those first 2 items in that first box. and then the second box with all of the additionals. And you'll see that the order number 1001, that's the second, the added order that we put into the 1000. So these items are included as well. Okay, so that's an example of a parcel shipment. What about LTL? I can do an LTL shipment here as well. And you'll notice that the ship via is BWLTL. That's best way. And I'm going to go through a rate shop example here so that you can see how that looks. And so I'm going to go ahead and hit through so that we get the LTL shipment details dialog box that pops. And so we've got pallets here. I'm going to do one pallet. I'm going to do 20 pieces. And then I've got my items stored in here. But once again, the items don't need to be in the TMS. If you prefer, we can have that integrated and pulled out of Sage again. That's up to you, and it's configurable. In this situation, I do have some items stored in the demo. And then the weight. So we'll use 500 pounds. And then we'll add that. So now we've got a pallet ready to go, and I'm going to hit done. And now what's happening is it rate shops. And so under the hood, we're utilizing all your business rules and all of the expectations you have for what is an optimal carrier. So I'll get into that in a little bit about how we configure that and how we put that together for you. But what you're seeing here are the carriers that came through from the rate shop. So FedEx and Old Dominion, UPS, etc., with a carrier ID and then the total charges. The TNT column is your time in transit. So if it needs to get there in 2 days, you can see that. If you prefer to have the least expensive, well, then here you go. You've got $111.69. Now I'm going to go ahead and choose FedEx and at the 111.69, and you can see how the package charges then are loaded in. You've got your base charge, the discount, that is all negotiated. So this is your discount pricing that flows into the TMS, along with the fuel charge and any accessorials that would be included on that shipment. So once we see that, again, the 500 pounds, we'll go ahead and hit ship. And now I'm tendering the shipment to FedEx. It's almost real time. And then what you're seeing here is the bill of lading that automatically prints. If that bill of lading needs to be changed, this is again a crystal report, and then we can customize it to meet your again company requirements. This is a standard VIX bill of lading, so this is something that we see very often in terms of the type of formatting, and of course we've got the zebra stripes and things of that nature for scanning. So all of that is produced out of the TMS. Okay. So that's the LTL example. How about an international shipment? So I'm going to send a shipment to Japan, Tokyo, and you'll notice that again, we've got the automatic fill of the ship to address, and then as we go here, the commodity screen is going to pop up. So this commodity screen, again, all of this information can automatically flow in from Sage 100, and yet if it's not complete or if you don't know everything at the time of order, you can go ahead and manually put it in with the commodity code, item numbers, and all of the information that you would need to do an international shipment. In this situation, we've got your commodities listed. There's 5 of them here shown, and then here are the additional all down to 9, and you've got your item number and descriptions all flow in. Okay, so if I go ahead and just hit done here, what you'll notice is that it does the rate shop just like we had on the LTL shipment. This though is your international ship vias. So again, we've got your service, the rate, and then the time in transit days. Okay, so if again, the least expensive is most important, and we're going to pick the 7642. I'll go ahead and pick that ship via, and you'll notice again the charges automatically display, and then we hit ship, and now we're tendering the international shipment. Any international documents that you have with the shipment will also populate here. This happens to be the commercial invoice, And again, a crystal report, so we can customize this accordingly. What we also do is for countries that will allow for a digital commercial invoice, our system will know that automatically and will submit the digital invoice instead of the paper. And then if countries that do not accept digital invoices are being shipped to, then this paper will automatically print. So every other document that you would have in terms of dangerous goods or any certifications, all of that will be included in that process. What's important to note about this this desktop application is that we are not only integrating with your ERP system and Sage, but we're also utilizing this desktop to drive all of your peripherals. So if we've got a ZBL printer or a laser printer, all of the printing will come and get configured through this desktop integration. So it's near instant in terms of printing all of those documents and processing shipments. Okay, so the real-time integration. Well, what does it look like on the web, and what is available for you and your team to manage your shipping through the web application? What you're seeing here is my dashboard, and you'll notice that we've got shipping, tracking, reporting, invoicing, these tabs up on top. We can turn these tabs on and off based upon the permissions that we give the user, and so you'll notice that all of the administration for clients, locations, users, roles, all of that is set up in the system, so your users will only see the items that they are allowed to see, or frankly that you've purchased. Right? In this situation, we're going to go to the shipping tab, and we're going to see the shipping history. We're going to go look at those shipments that we just processed, and you can see now here's the FedEx shipment that we sent off, that parcel shipment, and I'm opening up the shipping history details screen. And remember the 7642. So here it is. And now you can see everything that went on with that shipment. Where did it go from and shipped to? So this is the one that went to Tokyo. And you can see here the carrier name and the weight. You can see the ship date. It's time stamped. So all of the information that you would want from a general perspective comes up on the top. And then you notice over here the shipment actions. Let's say that, geez, that printer jammed or whatever the case, and you need to reprint some documents. So we hit the print button, and then what pops open is all of the documents that are attached to this shipment will be available to you to reprint. So in this situation, maybe I need to reprint the label. All right. So again, this is the compliant label, and everything that you need is here, and the way that FedEx or if you're using UPS or any other parcel carrier, those labels are compliant. Okay. So if we need the commercial invoice to reprint, it's all attached to that shipment record, and it resides there into time. Okay, so if you ever need to see what happened with that shipment 6 months from now, you'll have that available to you. Okay, so what else is on the shipping history details screen? You'll notice that here are all of the commodities. Remember, those were those 9 items that we shipped to Tokyo. And you've got not only the descriptions and order numbers, but you've got your quantities over here, prices and values. All of that information, again, will come in from Sage 100, so we can populate this screen accordingly. On the left side here are all of your charges. So here's the base charge, discount, the fuel, and again, all of the accessorials will be listed here as well. And then we have something that's called the attributes. So on the shipment record, we also have these attributes that you're able to utilize to drive logic in the system, or to report on and to do trend analysis. So if you look at, I want to know what's going on with my shipments to Japan, or I want to know about the sales order numbers X or Y, or whatever the case, you can pull this information in reporting. So all of these attributes can be included for your business intelligence, and there are no limits to the number of attributes that we can put into a shipment record. Again, through integration and that data mapping, we're going to get that information from you through your Sage 100 integration. We're also able to integrate to WMS systems and other file imports. There's a bunch of different ways that we can get these attributes. So that's the magic of what RateLinx does. We're able to specialize that integration so that we get the information you need so that you can do the work you're needing to do or your team needs to do. On the right here is the special services. So here you go, billing type, currency type, and sales terms, whatever those items are, we would have that set up for you and captured again accordingly. Here, supporting files. So if there are any supporting files, they will also be attached to the shipment record. Okay. So that shipping history screen, if you look across the top, you'll have the client ID. So if you have child clients or different divisions of your organization, you'll see it here. The bill of lading number, tracking numbers will all be here on this screen. The SCAC and the ship via, the carrier ID, your status, right? It's shipped. So you'll see that. Who shipped it? What was the user in the system? So all of this is logged, and you'll be able to see this at any time. The ship date, timestamp, of course, all of that information. And then you'll also see the ship to address, ship to company, anything that you would imagine you would have on a shipment record, everything will be here, including the zip code, of course, and the total charges. Okay, when it's picked up, etc. So any of that information will be available for you at this screen. You'll also, if required, you'll have the ability to export this information, export it to Excel or a JSON API. So you'll have these options as well. Okay. Of course, the filtering in our system is all very similar, screen to screen. So you'll notice that the filter dates are always here. And then the advanced filtering, this represents all of the column headers that we can filter by, right? So you can create a look and find items that you need when you come into the system, okay? The other interesting part is that all of this data, the shipping history data, is in a flat file, and it is available for you in the reporting module. So if we go to the dynamic reports, you can see that the baseline shipping details, that's what we're talking about here, will pop up, and there's no results found. Well, that's because I'm utilizing today's ship date. So if I unclick use the ship date, now here are all of the shipments in my client dashboard, okay? And the master client is demo. So you'll notice that all of that information is here on a report as well, inclusive of other reference IDs and other information that we can, again, pull in, like we talked about, as an attribute or whatever the case, so that you can report on those pieces of information. We call our reporting module dynamic because you get to choose what you see when you pull the reporting. So if I turn off all of these columns, I can go ahead and type in items that I want to see. So if I type in carrier, start to type in carrier, I can click on carrier name. And then how about shipments? And maybe I don't remember exactly what I need to type. You'll notice that your users will find this very intuitive. It's easy to pull data out of the reporting. And again, you have access to all of it. So you'll be able to configure it the way that you need. Here are all of the shipments. So again, you can configure this report the way that you need to, and then we can save the configuration, and you can make it private for the one user, Or you can make this global for all of your users. And again, our account management team will help you with this, train you. Even if you forget, we are available to assist you at any time. But if you want to, you can do that yourself and then save the configuration. You can create charts. So what's also really neat is an example here. If I go ahead and I've created it and saved it, I can load the chart and it opens up the data that I've already asked for. And then I can take this chart and I can save it to my KPIs on my dashboard. Or you can use it in your presentations internally, whatever the case. The other neat part of the reporting is that we can create monitors. Here you can really dive into the information that's available to you and start doing actions or provide actionable information, things that are getting out of control. So you can pull up, the thresholds for monitoring, and then you can get an email or an SMS notification that, hey, you need to look into this. This is going out of control. So all of that information will come automatically to you. And then, of course, if this report should just come to you to your inbox, you can configure it to come daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever is the cadence that you're looking for. And it's not just your email; it can be any email, multiple people. We can do department levels here by adding extra emails here. All of that information can be communicated accordingly. All right. So from a reporting perspective, we don't charge to give new reports. Again, you have all of the data, the configuration is here available for you, and then you can pull it the way that you need to. And if you need the account manager to assist in building those reports, that is also not extra charge. Those support items are included in the subscription fees. So all of that support we provide to you and included. Okay. So what about tracking? If tracking is important for you, um, we do have a tracking module as well. And if the carrier provides the tracking information, then we can get it, again, by hooking to that carrier with API or through EDI, we're able to get those milestones and pieces of information. So you'll notice that we've got up here the shipments that have been created, that have been picked up, in transit, out for delivery, or delivered. This gives your team an opportunity to say, oh, geez, what do I want to look at? The other thing that's neat is I can show what's being delivered today, show what's being picked up today. So here's an example. If we show what's being delivered today, a customer service team could go in here and say, what do I expect my customers to receive today? And if there's any advanced communications that you'd like to provide, you'll have access to this. And again, all of this information is also exportable, right? So we can provide that in any format that is appropriate for your teams. If I look at what's created here and get into this list, you'll notice that, again, the filtering on the left side, very intuitive. So what popped up here, I've got set up with my demo, is that the mode of truckload comes up. Well, if I want all modes to come up, I just go ahead and do that. And then you'll notice that it's waiting for pickup. So it would stand to reason that these lates would be up here, right? Because it's waiting for pickup. If the status were green, it would be because we're not expecting it to be picked up until maybe tomorrow, whatever the case. But maybe I want to see all statuses. So I go ahead and click that, and here you go. Now you've got all the statuses, all the modes, all directions, and you can just filter in that way. Well, what kind of information do we receive? So if I look in let's just pull a parcel example here. Now here's a FedEx parcel example, and here are the tracking details that populate. You can see that the map goes out and shows you what it looks like, where that package is going, and you can see that we've got A, B, C, D, so that you can see where it is based upon the events on the right side of the list here, and I'm showing all of the events. I can also take that off and just have a highlight of when it's arrived and when it's picked up. But if I look at all of the events, this is coming off of the carrier API, and I'm seeing everything that's occurring with this shipment, including down here the last activity date, the must arrive by date. So our system will dynamically change the ETA based upon what we are receiving from the carrier. So if it gets delayed at a terminal or whatever the case, then it will know that it must arrive by 8/18/2024, and if it's not scheduled to because of a delay, this goes red. And so again, your customer service team and your customers will be able to see this. Well, how do they see it, right? The reporting we can do for your people, but also we can send out updates. These updates can be sent with all of those milestones communicated, or we can have just select updates. So we could give pickup and delivery, or maybe all I want to do is send exceptions. Those items that are going to be late or what have you. Maybe that you'd want that customer to see that. Then the other thing is here we've got receive via SMS or receive via email. So if it's an email, it would be a branded email, your logo coming from you out of the system. And again, the email addresses that we need to send this to. We've got customers that have used this for like new shipping relationships, new customers for them that they would like to be able to really manage and communicate to that new customer what's going on. So again, the customer service team or the sales team internally can receive these updates as well, or and then they can communicate directly to your customer, or you can have it go to all of them. Okay. So just a bit of a use case there. Again, what's neat about going back to the reporting, if I look at the dynamic reports, and now I'm going to pull up the baseline track and trace. The first report that I showed you was the baseline shipping details. So baseline reports, it really means that we're pulling in all of the data. So that, again, you have the ability to create your configuration the way that you need. And with the baseline track and trace report, you'll see that we've got all of the information that you would expect from a tracking perspective. So all of it is in here. Delivery, must arrive by dates, and carrier appointment dates. So all of the information that you would want to hold your carriers accountable, also in here. And so you can mine this data to assist you with carrier management, scorecarding, and things of that nature. And again, it works the same way as we did before, as we looked at before. Okay. So interesting, but how do we set this up? What really happens under the hood? If I show you a location, this can be multiple locations, and incidentally, our entire process of licensing is based upon modes. So it comes with unlimited locations, unlimited users, unlimited carriers for the mode you pick. So if we've got Parcel or LTL, all of that will be identified by the location. And if I look at how we set it up, you'll notice that if I click on that carrier setup, that truck icon, here you've got all of the carriers that are set up for this particular location. And as an example, Parcel FedEx, this is how it's set up. We utilize, of course, your unique account number, meter number, the user key. All of this information we'll get from you that you have already received from FedEx or the carrier. And then all of your negotiated rates, your accessorials, fuel surcharges, everything that you've negotiated will flow through into the system, including additional items like, like address validation and what that logic is. And then we can tell you, so this is set at A for address validation, and A equals automatically switch ship to address to match FedEx provided. Maybe you don't want that. So maybe you would prefer that there were be a warning and switch. So again, we're able to configure this to meet your objectives internally. Okay. Once we have the carrier set up, then we have the ship via code. So obviously we need to have this. So as a FedEx example, I'll pull up F20, and this happens to be the Federal Express Saver. And you can see that that F20 code is here. We can also customize the names of these ship vias for you. But special services can be added, alternate rates can be added. So all of this information is easy as just drop downs in quick typing. We can help you with that during implementation. And then what happens if you add a carrier later? Again, adding carriers or updating carriers, all of that is included in your subscription pricing. So you don't have to pay professional service fees with RateLinx to do that stuff. So our account management team will help you with that if you prefer. It's something we do every day, so it's easy for us. So once the ship via is already included, now we can look at the rate shop codes. So if you remember when I did the rate shopping, the FedEx and Old Dominion and all of those came in for LTL. So if I look at Best Way LTL, here are all of the LTL carriers that I have set up for this location. And these, remember, are only the carriers that you have secured contractual pricing with. But we also will integrate with brokers like CH Robinson, FreightQuote.com, others, so that if you don't have your own rates, we can pull them in from other sources as well. Also, I'll just show you the international templates here. If I want to add my packing slip, commercial invoice, all of my templates that I will utilize, this is where I add them. And if I open up the add button, the international template, this is where we can get specific to the country. So all of the countries that you'd be shipping to are in here, and there are unique requirements by country. So when we put that in here and utilize your templates, we can get it to be exactly the way you need it to. All right. The other administrative item that I want to just quickly highlight is the address book. And you can build an address book in the ShipLinx application, or you can take your addresses coming out of Sage 100 and we can do it through integration. So it's up to you. You don't have to keep it in here, but I just wanted to show you that your teams will have the ability, if you give them the rights to add addresses or update them in the address book. Okay. So we've gone through, how to do the shipping history and how the reporting works, etc. Let's say that you have a shipment that is outside of Sage. Maybe you're going to be doing, you've got a salesperson going to a show and you've got samples and it's not in your ERP, but you want to arrange shipping. So we can also do that here, one-off shipments in the system. So in this situation, we're going to do a best way mixed rate shop. Okay. So remember, we've got all modes on this system, from small parcel, LTL, truckload, ocean, everything that you would need is on this platform. And so I'm going to do a best way mixed rate shop. And again, you will either type in the address or pull it from the address book. So it auto populates when I do that. Over here on the shipment information, you can do must arrive by date and ship date, etc. And then again, I can save this if I've typed it in and I want to save it to the address book. It's as simple as that. And then you'll notice, because it's mixed mode, I'm going to have BOL details as well as the package details to see which it is least expensive. And then I've got your shipment options in here. So what I'll show here is box weight of 100 pounds, and length, width, height is optional. Okay, and then if I go down to the BOL details, I can add the item. And again, my items can either be typed in or I can have them flow in. So I'm going to do one pallet. Oops, got to get rid of that 0. one pallet, pieces, we'll say 20. Here are the NMFC already flowed through the construction projects. And then I'm going to put in the 100 pounds to match what we had above. And now the shipment estimator is running. So we're now doing a rate shop under the hood, and it comes back with 14 rates found. So I'll show the rates. And now you see that everything that you have contracted, all of the modes that you are working with come up on this rate shop. So you've got parcel and LTL, and you've got truckload options along with the service days and the total charges. So again, if you want the least expensive, FedEx ground for $92.77. But if there's a reason that it should be truckload, then you can pay a little bit more and you have that option. But you see it. You have that opportunity. And again, this is the same logic that happens with that desktop application, and that can all be configured utilizing your business rules to determine how that shipment gets optimized. Okay. And so from a setup perspective, I told you that I would show you how those rules are built. So we've got exception tables that we'll build here for you in the implementation project. Routing exceptions is an example of how we start driving intelligence around optimization. And you can see here that we can build the routing exceptions based on clients' effective dates. So maybe we've got something that we want to be showing just for a particular time period or whatever the case, or an origin or a destination. And in this situation, it's going to Walmart, and so it's your customer. And here we've got the rules that would say allowed ship vias or blocked ship vias. So this is how we build that into the system for you. And then again, we've got accessorial exceptions and dock scheduling, must arrive by date, pool points. All of these are how we drive the logic of the real-time integration as well as the web version of this. Okay. Finally, if I go back to then my dashboard, you'll see that these KPIs are here, and these KPIs will drive the specific freight that you have moving through the system and give you specific information about what's going on with that type of mode. So parcel here, your average actual weight, average fuel percentages. Red is bad, green is good. It shows you in the system what's happening. And then also, like LTL, we'll have a narrative at the top, right? It's green, so that's good. LTL cost per shipment has decreased. So again, you've got analytics, you've got reporting, and all the functionality here in the system as well. All right, Daryl, any other questions from your perspective?
Yeah, we can dive into a few here. Probably appropriate. How long does it take to implement ShipLinx TMS?
Yeah, implementation is usually probably 8 to 12 weeks, depending on what modes we're looking at. So if we only have parcel, that's quite a bit quicker. We can do that in usually 4 to 6 weeks. If we've got multiple modes and multiple business rules, it will take a little bit longer. But in no instance would it take longer than 12 weeks. And one of the advantages with Sage 100 is that we've already got the baseline integration is already built. So what information do we need to take from Sage? That we of course we need the sales order information, what we're shipping, etc. And that stuff comes into ShipLinx. All of that's built already. And then what we do is specific unique integration pieces for each customer. We can do user-defined fields and build all of that out for you, and that's what takes just a little bit longer.
Okay, excellent. Another question from Calvin. Do you integrate with e-com platforms to send shipping data back to the site? Example would be a Shopify, etc., or to live quote shipping time and pricing?
Yes, yeah, and it's a great question, Calvin. We do. We integrate with many e-com sites, and any that we haven't, we're happy to go through that process and do the integration. our APIs are all standard, so it usually is very simple to do that. And what we've even done is we have a vScript that we've already built for rate shop information on the sales order screen in 100. So if you want to get the rate shop results real time back in for customer service or sales, that's already done. And so yes, we can do all of that. It just depends on what your needs are, but nonetheless, that's what just a little bit of customization in implementation. That's the kind of stuff we would do for you.
Okay. Another question from Shelly. Is there a way to reprint the packing list?
Yes, we certainly can do that. So when you come to the shipping history screen, and I open this up, let me just go to the details. This button, print, will have all of the documents, including, by the way, any international dangerous goods, anything like that, will open up. And now I can, this happens to be an international. So I've got the label that I can reprint. Here it is. I can also reprint the commercial invoice. Again, it would be the packing list, the commercial invoice, whatever is on that shipment will reside on that details screen. And yes, we can reprint that. And into the future, Shelly. So that resides with that shipment record in the system. That's not a problem at all.
Great. Got another question for you. Can we insert rates monthly provided by our freight forwarders?
Absolutely. In fact, we can either, with your freight forwarders, hook to there again, if it's an API opportunity, or if we need to do rate setups, it's done right here. And as an example here, ocean carriers for a forwarder. Here's an example, CMDU. And so we would be able to add those tariffs in here, show the ocean rates, inclusive of all special services and all of that. So yes, and in fact, when ocean rates were changing as quickly as they were coming down, weren't they? We had customers that we were changing rates every week, so that they had current rates in their TMS. It just had to be that way. Yep, our team will help you with that as well.
Okay. Another question I have here is the rates that populate from the carriers are our negotiated rates that have been linked via either an API or EDI. And does the shipment get communicated to the carrier, or do we have to send it?
Yeah, good question. We also have all of the tender exceptions that we will provide. And yes, our system will either auto tender or require action from the user. It's up to you. And you can do it both ways as well. We can set it up for various locations, modes, carriers, or individual shipments as a specific actionable, or it can be done automatically based on what's the most optimal carrier. Whatever your business rules dictate, we can configure the system to meet that for you.
Great. Okay, last question for now. Do you offer client branded email notifications with shipment details, sales order, item, quantity shipped, etc.?
Yes, all of that. So the branded emails would be done when the shipment is picked up, going right straight to your customer, and then very similar, if you have the tracking module, we would also be able to do the branded emails indicating that they are exceptions, late or on time, or when do we expect that delivery to arrive. So all of that is branded. And yes, all of those specific items can be added to that branded email, or frankly, SMS notifications. Yep, you bet.
Okay, excellent. If anybody has any other questions, we do have a little more time. Please feel free to drop them in the question panel and we will get to them. Other than that, that is the end of questions for now.
Excellent. Well, I think if I may then, Daryl, I would like to just give a couple of highlights to how we work with Daryl's team, right? I mean, how does the Net at Work team integrate from a project basis? So when we work with one of the Net at Work customers, we are if you will, an adjunct service for Net at Work. And we're utilizing their expertise on any of those unique integrations that they have done or that you require on your side or inside of the Sage 100 instance. And so our implementation team, software engineers, we collaborate with you, of course, for your business rules, all of the things that you have to tell us for your shipping information. And then we're also collaborating with the team at Net at Work to make sure that all of that works the way that you expect. And through implementation, we build what is called a functional specification for all of those endpoints, rules, business rules, et cetera. And then that document lives with you as long as you're with RateLinx. And so that document then not only is the governance, that here's how the system is built and what the deliverables are and what is supposed to happen. It's that, and then we utilize that also in user acceptance testing. So did we get all of the business rules tested? All of that gets done through the implementation process. And so it's very organized, and it's up front in the process so that you know what we're going to be doing. It's not under the table or through just technology. We really interact with the operations as well. I have heard from our customers that it's unique and it's a great process. And so we've also had great success with the Net at Work team as well. I don't know if that opened any more questions up there, Daryl.
Actually, it has.
All
Which is
right.
great. Yes. All right. So, is it possible to show all the items included in a shipment linking RateLinx with Sage? So I'm assuming that they want to see a sample or like some type of like within the demo,
I see.
what like items or information that would be included in a shipment linking RateLinx with Sage.
Yeah. So the way to think of it is this: everything on this shipping history screen, and I'm opening up the details on this shipment. All of this information can be provided through integration. So any of this general information, all of the address, ship to, and origin information, all of the details, what commodities are on this, and then all of these attributes, any of that can be integrated and sent back to Sage. We don't have a specific list because each shipper is different. So if you think of a shipment and what is required, if we go through a rate shop and we talk about optimal carriers, it would be the carrier, the SCAC, the charges, and we provide the charge level details back to Sage, and so you are able to see the accessorials and the fuel, the base charge discounts, all of that information. Of course, the ship date, if there was a must arrive by date, all of that information can be sent to Sage. And of course, if you need custom information, that's what I was referring to on user defined fields, or in that implementation process, we can add or subtract. It's all based upon what your needs are. Hope that gives enough granularity to answer that question.
Yeah, and it looks like this question and then the next one is a part of that thought. In this way, also, the planning and sales departments could be aware of the status of each item, for example, if it has been shipped or not.
Yes, absolutely. So one of the things that we can do is, if you notice when we go here, we've got created, picked up, in trans, out for delivery. We can tell what shipments are shown for delivery today or shown picking up today. So if we click on the button, it's there. So that information is inside of the system, and then we can also move that to one of those dynamic reports, and then that report can be sent off to customer service or sales, and they can see all of that in a daily or every hour. I mean, it just depends on how much flow you have going through your operations, but yes, absolutely, we can provide that visibility. And
Okay.
if it's you don't have tracking turned on, we can do it through the pickup and the tendering process with the carriers as well. You bet.
Okay. That looks like the end of the questions for right now. Just for all the attendees, like I said, we will be sending out a copy of the presentation along with contact information for myself and Todd. And of course, everybody knows who their account manager is within Net at Work. You can reach out to them as well. And we'd be more than happy to set up more time one-on-one with the RateLinx team to chat about this solution. And of course, anything else.
Right on.
Okay.
Great.
Excellent. Yep, looks like that is the end of the questions. So again, thank you everybody for your time, much appreciated, and we will be back in touch with our follow-ups, and please look for the copy of the webinar tomorrow in your inbox. Thanks everybody, have a great afternoon.
Great, thank you. Take care, Daryl.
Thank you.
You bet, bye now.